Good morning, everybody. This is Lawrence Kazan Cassini. I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm trying to figure out. We had a little glitch with the internet, and I'm having a little glitch with the live recording here for the phone, which I'm just dealing with. So bear with me for just 1 minute, and I'll sort it out. And here we go. So, good morning. This is Lawrence Kazan Cassini. As I say, I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm here for the event, which is called the A4M Association for Anti-Aging Medicine. It's an event which is one of the largest healthcare or anti-aging events in the United States. They're probably going to be like, I don't know, 3,000 doctors or something like that. It's huge. And we have a booth with 24 scanners going today. So it'll be pretty big. John Whitaker has coordinated this, and there are various groups that belong to this that will be participating. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this other thing going, and I don't seem to do it. I'm supposed to have that going, and there should be a bunch of people on that, and I can't hear anything. So, okay, we're in. 1 second. Oh, and it just dropped. The line dropped. Okay. So, one more time. I've been having glitches with, and this is not my forte, so I'm extreme pressure right now because I know I'm very challenged about okay. I'm very challenged with, so good morning to the participants. So anyway, here we go. So, all right. So good morning to everybody. I can see here we've got some people, Josh and Zvi and Miguel and Deborah, and good morning, everybody. So, apologize for the little Tom, good morning, little glitch in getting started. So, I wanted to address a couple of things today. The first one is wherever you are, be there. In other words, be present where you are. And I'm going to tell you a little story about that. Some years ago, I read a book called The Silent Warrior. And actually, they made a movie out of that, which was very, very good. And The Silent Warrior was a story of an Olympic competitor, gymnast. He was absolutely amazing. He was a gymnast. And he had a motorcycle accident. And he crushed his leg, and he was never going to be able to do any kind of gymnastics, any kind of sport at all. He could hardly walk. In fact, he couldn't even walk. And he was depressed, obviously. He was very sad. He was depressed. He was in a very, very sad state of affairs. And anyway, at some time, a guru appeared, a mentor, and started to talk to him about, getting himself back into shape and getting him into line and so on. But obviously his crushing defeat in his dream of being the gold medalist and so on was something that was very impactful for him. And obviously if somebody has a crushed dream or a serious reversal or something that inhibits one from achieving one's dreams and goals and so on, it's terrible, it's crushing. So anyway, this mentor helped him, and he started to do exercises, and after a couple of years, actually, he was finally able to, to really start doing gymnastics again and so on. And just before the mentor sort of released him, said to him, look, I want to show you something today. And it's very important. And this guy said, fine, let's do it. And they started climbing a mountain. And they were climbing the mountain, and they went up the mountain and kept on going. And this guy was saying, well, what do you want to show me? And the guy said, I will, when the time comes, I'll show you. And they kept on climbing this mountain. Finally, they got to the top of the mountain. And at the top of the mountain, The guy said, well, what do you want to show me? And the mentor looked down at his feet and he said, that stone. And he looked and he said, what stone? He said, it's a stone. Yeah. He said, you were so intent on the destination that you didn't even observe the journey. We've just climbed one of the most beautiful places on the planet. You didn't for a minute think about the journey, what you saw, what was in there, what was around you. You were so intent on the end because I told you something. You didn't even know what it was. So the moral of this thing is, actually, I'll tell you a story a bit before that. So a couple of years ago, my wife and I, Kari, were in Switzerland, in Geneva. And we said, well, what's there to do? And so on. And my son-in-law said, here's my car, go to Gruyere, where they make the cheese. It's a beautiful place. Wow, it's wonderful, Gruyere, and so on. So I said, fine. I said, where is it? He said, oh, it's about 45 minutes. So we got in the car and we drove. And about an hour and a half later, close to 2 hours later, my wife said, I thought they said this place was 45 minutes. And I said, oh, I don't know. I just, no idea. I'm just driving. So she said, pull over. So we pulled over to a little place, tiny little roadside thing on the expressway, not an expressway, on a highway. And my wife got out and said, would you please tell me where Gruyere is? And they said, oh, yeah, it's about 40 minutes that way. And so my wife looked at me and she said, you know, we've been riding around that mountain for nearly 2 hours. It's big, big mountains. And I said, yeah. She said, well, that's where we're supposed to go, is to Gruyere. And I said, babe, you didn't even notice the beauty of the mountains. And we saw it from this side, we saw it from that side, we went around the other side. It's the journey. The reason I'm saying all this preamble is because when we go and see a physician, or we go and see on our journey of the scanner, it's about people. And we go and see a doctor, for example, and we're focused on the scanner, we're focused on placing a scanner. But we've got to look around and see, who is this person that we're scanning? Who is this person that we want to put the scanner with? Try and understand who he is. So look at the pictures in the place. You know, is he a yachtsman? Is he a pilot? Does he play sport? What do his kids do? And you'll find something about the person if we're looking at the journey to the scanner placement. So is the staff happy? How is the staff? How does he treat his staff? What sort of a place is it? Because we've got to try and understand where we're going to place the scanner. And the scanner is the end journey. It's the beginning of another journey, but the placing of the scanner is important. So be aware of where we are. Look around, listen very carefully, because there's a lesson in the journey. And the journey is all about learning. It's about listening. It's about seeing what the people say, what they think. And that is what makes us more complete in our profession of placing the scanner. So there's another little anecdote thing, that is the red Volkswagen or the yellow Volkswagen thing. If you get a yellow Volkswagen, you're going to see lots and lots of yellow Volkswagens. And it's not that there are more Volkswagens or yellow Volkswagens being sold, the yellow car syndrome, but that we're now starting to focus on those. So we see more and more yellow Volkswagens everywhere we go, because that's what we've now got in our minds. Oh, I just got a yellow Volkswagen. Wow, everybody else says, wow, look, there's another one. So it's called a reticular active system in your mind. It's a filter. And we start to focus on certain things that we've just started to look at and we've just started to have. Well, I'd like to switch this to the scanners. Let's have this constant focus on the scanner so that you're telling your brain what you see more of what you want. So you place a scanner, you made a relationship. Let's now let's focus on more and more scanners, because it's like that yellow car syndrome. And so be focused on, put it in your mind about the scanner, and that it's like a neuro-linguistic thing. It's something that will continue to be in your mind, the scanners and how we're going to place them and so on. There's something I'd like to say, that even if we're on the right track, if you snooze, you lose. In other words, you'll get run over if you just sit there. I'll give you an example. So recently, one of the distributors whom I recruited about a year ago, who got a scanner, who's done nothing with it. Well, he actually got one chiropractor who also did nothing, because this person did nothing. And after about a year, a few weeks ago, there was a little meeting with several doctors. And I invited this person to come. And this person came, and honestly, I could see the person's jaw drop. Just drop. Because in that room were 22 people. And the main guys, the main leaders of that group were people who knew this person that I had recruited very well. Very well. And they all hugged and, hey, how are you? And what's going on? And all great stuff. A lot of hugging, and not kissing, but hugging. And this person looked, and he looked at me, and I said, yes, you got run over. You knew these people long before. And this group of 20, it was just 6 months ago that they've been recruited. And my friend looked at me and he said, oh my gosh. I said, yes, you just got run over. And there is now a new thing which happened, which is called FOMO, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Heather. Morning, Kimberly, Crystal. Good morning, John. Morning, Dee. Morning, Alex. Morning, Gordy. Morning, Kenneth. So FOMO, fear of missing out. When this guy came in and he saw that he knew the main doctors who had recruited all these other people, can you imagine how he felt? I've felt like that before too, because I procrastinated to go and talk to someone. I procrastinated to go and actually engage with somebody, or I didn't follow up. Worse, that's my big issue. I didn't follow up. So snooze, you lose. And the FOMO will trigger the action, because it becomes very embarrassing. It's terrible. You've got to become uncomfortable to break the habits that you're in. You may have comfort zone. You may be in a comfort zone right now, which is a comfort zone of where you know people, you're in that zone where it's familiar. Get uncomfortable, get out of there, get uncomfortable, go and go into something where it's territory which has been charted by others, but maybe not by you. Follow the leaders. Success leaves clues. How do the leaders do it? How do they manage to be so successful? What are they doing different to what I'm doing? So aim for what you want rather than what you can get. Big difference, what you want and what you can get. oh, I can get this because I'm in my comfort zone, but I want that. Whoa, that's going to be another issue. That's a little bit more difficult. So our real limits are beyond our artificial limits, artificial mental limits. The real limits that we have are beyond the artificial mental limits. We can do a hell of a lot more than what we think we can, because we're putting limitations on what we think. So I think what we'll do is do this. On the, there's a, sorry, here it is. So we've also got, I'm just looking at time. So to become a leader of leaders, there's a master action. And the master action that I want to talk about is, it's written out, it's in our program from Utah, it's all there. And I dug it out to see, because this is something that I had when I started. Wes came to a meeting in Florida, and he picked a few people to be on an accountability team. And that was a weekly call where we all had homework, we all had our accountability. And so I went over this, and I've just come across it here, and it says to become a leader of leader is a master action group. So 4 participants, call 4 participants, choose 4 participants. Could be a brand rep and 3 others. Could be 3 people. If you're not a brand rep, you could get 3 people, 4 people altogether. And the mission in 90 days is to get to 25,000 points. 90 days. Actively engage participants to be an expert in support, invite, create the vision, remove inhibitors, and follow up. And then track the progress. Each person has to put it out there. You can lie to yourself and say, I'm going to do this. But when you start putting it out there and you say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and you've got other witnesses to say, okay, we're going to hold you accountable to that, and I'm going to do this, and Joe's going to do that, and Fred's going to do that, and everybody's going to do whatever. Now we've got accountability, and that's what this is about, is to have an accountability team. But to have an accountability team where we're becoming an expert in each one of our fields. It's a 12-week participation. That's the 90 days. And in the 90 days, we have to, between the 4 of us, reach 100,000 points. And that includes reading. It includes discussing something that went well during the week, the people that you called. Sorry, I'm in a hotel, so I got myself a little bit hitched with this morning with this. It was okay. So the thing is to incentivize the teamwork, because this is what this is about. Find a partner, find a team, find somebody to work with, and this is your team. And you could have every night or every day, you could have 4 different people doing this same the same accountability program. And so the people that are incompliant, replace them. When we started, Wes I think we had 11 people. And by the end, there were only like 5. And those 5 included Kathy Petrillo, Team Elite, David Felt, Team Elite, David Rosenberg. It included people who were there for the stay. You've got to be on the stay. It's a commitment. You got to write down daily journal. Journalize what you're doing. What went well? What didn't go well? Listen to each call, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday calls. And then that's a 30-minute call. And then have a debrief and say, okay, were there any gems out of that? Was it any What were the good things? What did I learn from that? What did you think? What did they think? Because when you start discussing something and there are more than 2 or 3 people discussing an issue, you'll really get a lot more insight. The other thing was scan someone every day for 5 days a week. Why? You met your score product, length of meeting. So what was, how many people did you put on product? Remember last week, I think I invented something and I said, the number of ADRs is directly proportional to the understanding the client or patient has of what the scanner is doing. That's what the scanner operator's expertise is in explaining, is understanding the client. That's why we have that questionnaire. So the number of ADRs becomes crucial, and it's directly proportional to the understanding the patient has or the client has of the scanner. So I can't even read my writing here. I'm really flustered with this internet this morning, so I apologize. So the point is today is get in the zone, focus on scanners, focus on looking around you. For example, last night I'm here with somebody and I said, how did the flight go? And he said, oh, I sat next to someone. I said, okay, what was that person? He said, oh, he's retired. And I said, okay, what do his kids do? I didn't ask. What? And a 5-hour flight, you're sitting with somebody, be interested in the person. You could ask interesting questions to that person. People love to talk about themselves, so ask them questions. And the more questions you ask, the more they tell you. So just to give an example of asking questions, the person that cleans my swimming pool he cleans my pool. He's a Colombian. His son has got his own company. It's one of the biggest food delivery companies in Colombia. He's a millionaire. And so, but you ask questions. You never know who you're talking to. I sat next to a doctor from Paris, and she also has a clinic in London. That was on my flight here. So I asked lots of questions. She was fascinated with anti-aging. She's published papers. So I asked her about her kids, what they do, because that's where you never will run out of material when you're asking questions. And be in the zone means be in the zone, be where you are. So it's a little disjointed today. I'm going all over the place. I've made lots of studies here, lots of things. By the way, read 2 books, Grit by Angela Duckworth and Extreme Ownership by Leif Babin and Jocko Willink. So getting back again, if you fail, you're not defeated. Defeat doesn't mean that you're defeated. It means that you've just got to get up and start again and get moving. I got some really good quotes yesterday. If you do the thing you fear, death of fear is certain. If you do the thing you fear, it's like bite the frog. There's a book called Bite the Frog, Eat the Frog. It's the first thing you do in the morning. The worst possible, horrible, most disgusting thing you can think of, that's the first thing you do. Because when you've got that out the way, the rest is just easy. But you've got to get that. Otherwise, you'll procrastinate to the hard thing at the end, which is eat the frog. I mean, what is the eat the frog? It could be, a call that you're dreading. It could be somebody that you're really worried about calling. That's the big one. Oh, I don't know what, he may not be there. He may not want to talk to me. She may not be there, whatever. So, get into the habit of knocking the big issues that you have. Knock them out first. What are your gifts that are unopened? Your talents, your abilities to reach. We all have. But sometimes we don't even know they're there. So come out of the comfort zone. All I always talk about, what I mainly talk about, is the mindset. We are all mentally constipated about something. What are our mental constipations? Oh, I don't think I can do that. Well, who says you can't? Your mind. It's cobwebs. It's not true. So passion fires the soul, fills the spirit. Everything your heart keeps you going through problems and uncertainty. So passion is the thing that will drive you through it. And passion fires the soul, fills the spirit, energizing your heart. So even if you're not sure of something, just have passion to do it. Like right now, honestly, I feel like I've been swimming in mud because the internet didn't work. I couldn't get the other thing to work. And I'm in a panic. But the passion is there. I don't care. I just want everybody to know that everybody can do and achieve what is humanly possible if it's been done. And if it hasn't been done, you can still possibly achieve it. Roger Bannister ran the mile in less than 4 minutes. He was the first person to do it. Everybody remembers that. But there are thousands of people every year who run the mile in less than 4 minutes. And we don't even know who they are. Everybody, thousands of people. So even what was thought to be impossible is possible. But just understand that it is totally possible. Feed the flame of passion and vision of your dramatic dreams. The dramatic dream is what? 1 scanner a week. Wow, that would be nice. That's 50 scanners in a year. Why not? So you only managed to do 1 scanner a month. Okay, but shoot for the stars and you'll hit the moon. But believe in yourself. This mindset is something that we have to get over. Systems are there. Systems are in place. People are successful. How are they doing it? It's all there. We've got a whole booklet on it. So my thing for this week would be select 4 people. And I have, for example, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, I've got little groups of people that I'm working with on an accountability program where everybody is now accountable. They have a mission of 25,000 points within 90 days. And each person has to write down what he's doing and talk about it. Because if you talk about it within your group, you're then going to be hell of an embarrassed if you didn't do it. That's very, very embarrassing if you don't achieve what you say you're going to do. So today's going to be a day where we've got a big day, A4M, American Association for Anti-Aging Medicine. I'm very proud and pleased to be included in this group. 24 scanners will be going. John Whitaker is the catalyst to make this thing happen. And he's been doing it for a number of years. And it's an opportunity for us to really learn, because we're going to see 20 or 30 probably doctors scanned per day. So now you really got to jack up the way we approach the people. And we learn. Each time we make a mistake, it's a good thing. We learn from that. Have it as a strength, not as a weakness. So I'll film a little bit today. I'll film what we're doing a little bit and put it on Facebook. I apologize for being really up and down today, more than usual. Usually I do have this pretty well organized. But anyway, the point is, believe in yourself, have no inhibitions, and FOMO, fear of missing out. Don't do it. Have a good day.